There is a brand new musical being done as a concept album, and I am very much looking forward to hearing more about it. Today we have the producer, Rye Myers, and the composer, Jeffrey Schmelkin of The Parts I Keep Inside. Jeffrey, tell us a little bit about this musical.
This is an almost too personal new musical. It was really birthed during the COVID shutdown, and I really thought, what do we need as people right now and in general? And the first thing and only thing that came to my mind was human connection. So I made a list of all the things that embarrassed me or made me feel vulnerable. And I turned each one into a song, hoping that, it would resonate with at least someone else out there. So last year we produced this. It was more of a presentation at the Triad Theater. We're back again this year. It's changed a whole bunch, new music, new songs, there's dialogue, more characters, and I'm really excited to share it.
For us, one of the things that we've found and that I found with the show, and Jeffrey has too with writing it, is everyone can relate to it, because no matter your age, your ethnicity, your background, everyone has had that experience with the embarrassment of a first love, or the anxiety or the depression, or getting into something new, not wanting to get out of bed because, your anxiety is telling you this, your depression is telling you that. And as he says, it's an almost too personal musical. So,
Well, I think personal is good though. I think personal is really good.
Yes.
Especially if it's got layers and they peel.
Yeah.
Who do you want to relate to? Who would you love to see your show, Jeffrey?
Honestly, whoever is, there's a great way to explain this. I reached out to a couple audience members from the last show, and one of our audience members, her name is Alma. She described it as like walking away from the show, feeling less alone. Uh, so literally anybody,
We all need that.
we all need that. Anybody who's feeling lonely, anybody who's not feeling lonely, there's something in there for everybody.
Yes.
Where would you like to go from here? Like, where would you like to see your next steps?
Next steps would be, either a larger workshop would be amazing, or even an extended off-Broadway run. We're, of course, there's Broadway hanging over, but we're very realistic. That doesn't stop us from dreaming.
Yeah.
But we should always dream.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of doing a show of this nature. And especially, Jeffrey is also a co-producer on the show. So it's exciting to also be able to get his feedback, from that creative standpoint of writing the show and also having that input. And that's one of the things with this show is that, we're open to what the next steps are. We were in talks with some general management companies prior to being at the Triad. And, we were just trying to figure out timing. So as we said, even something like, as you mentioned, a festival, or the doors are open. And I think that that's what's beautiful. I think to sort of obviously have that long-term goal of, we think like an off-Broadway theater would obviously suit this well, but as you know, with musicals, they take time. And so we are, open to the process. We want as many people to see it as possible, and exploring how can we continue to get this out there, marketed, let people hear the music, see the show, and, constantly sort of taking that feedback and, making it better and better.
Has Van Deen seen the show yet?
I don't believe so. No, I know some people at Broadway Records, and I can certainly will reach out. I know we do. Our hope in the future is to, record.
This is up Van Deen's alley.
I'm sorry?
This is up Van Deen's alley.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's very into helping. When the shooting happened in Connecticut, he was the first person to put up a show and to put up money for that. He's very much into mental health. He's very much into helping young people.
Yeah.
It's very much up his alley.
I'll reach out for sure then, because as I said, I know people with Broadway Records. So
That's, that's the thing that when I'm coaching people, that I tell them, because your show is about mental health. You should be reaching out to every single mental health person out there in every theater that does shows about mental health. You mentioned Tom Kitt, so every place that Next to Normal went.
Yeah.
And people think that that sounds stupid, but the answer is that that's how you get your show produced.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
not that you're not producing right, but that's how you get it to a bigger and better place and to more audiences. Have you thought of doing this in a Zoom and streaming it?
Right.
Definitely, I don't think we've thought about the Zoom end of it, just because I think now where we are sort of in this current society, I think everyone is Zoom fatigued. On that streaming level, we have definitely thought about it. The Triad does offer that capability. I think our option, if we were going to do a streaming, would to be sort of a paid streaming, tune
That's what I
in
mean.
to, yeah. And that isn't, I don't believe supported at the moment at the Triad, but that is something that we're open to down the line, because as streaming is sort of in the future, and being able to have that people access it, that is something, down the line, we are looking into. But I wouldn't say a Zoom sort of session, but definitely, a live stream where somebody can tune in and, watch it, pay the ticket fee to watch it. That's definitely in the cards, I would think, right, Jeffrey? And eventually.
Yeah. The reason I would mention this is that you have the 54 Below live shows that they stream, and they're incredibly successful. But what happens is that you then reach people in London, in Tokyo, in Los Angeles, people that can't make it here. And when your show is running for a very short period of time, it's also a way of getting people interested in your show before it really, really happens. So you start gathering that database.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we've touched on it before. Definitely something in the future.
What other kinds of shows would you like to write, Jeffrey?
What other kinds of shows? I think this goes back to myself as an artist, and even further as a person. I'm just super passionate about helping people in any way, whether it's raising awareness for issues or helping people, feel a little less alone. I want to write shows that are meaningful. I want to write shows that reach people that they need to reach. When I was a kid, I went to see a lot of shows. I listened to a lot of music. I did my undergraduate in music composition. And just that feeling of seeing a show or hearing that song, or listening to that piece, that I didn't know that I needed. That feeling is really what carries me through. So in the future, anything meaningful, that helps people, whatever that definition is.
Are you also a performer?
I I'm a music director as well. But I'm not on the stage. I don't think anybody wants to hear me sing.
Who would be in your dream cast if you could have whoever you wanted?
Oh gosh. I love Jackie Burns as a performer. And there are the Idina Menzels of the world that I'd love to work with. But honestly, after working with so many different people on this production, on other productions that I've done, really the type of performer is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who are excited about the work. I'm looking for people who are passionate about the same things that I'm passionate about, that the show is passionate about. People who I work well with. Whenever I hold an audition, I always ask people to tell me their favorite joke or a funny thing that happened to them this morning.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah, because I want to get to know them. Sorry?
I used to be a performer, and that I'd always get to like the final things, and they would ask me to tell them a joke, and I was mortified because I cannot tell a joke. I'm not funny. I mean, people think I am, but if I have to be funny, not. So
but you know,
I
that's
remember this.
it's telling, because I'm not looking for the world's funniest joke. I'm looking for, who are you? You know, how are you as a person? Are you going to be someone I want to work with, rather than are you just the best performer? Because 10 times out of 10, I will choose to work with the nicer person rather than the more talented person.
Wow. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Rye, what other things would you like to produce?
Oh my, wow. Well, I would love to produce, you know, obviously more live theater, you know, plays, musicals. But I really have a passion on the producing end, would love to get into the film and television world. You know, there are so many good stories out there. You know, I was in talking with a writer who, you know, wrote this beautiful, like, great sort of series that, you know, like would be great on like an HBO or a Netflix. So like, I would love to get into like that TV film world, producing that, or even, you know, with my production company, being able to like produce someone's podcast or an album. But I think, you know, what I'm really familiar with right now is sort of this theater live performance producing. And obviously, while it's great, obviously that is not where the money is, and I don't do it for the money, and it's not about that. But I think if it's something I'm going to pursue professionally, you want to look where you can be successful. And I think being across all realms, musical theater, but especially TV film, I also am a very inquisitive mind. So like, I'm not too familiar with how the TV film side works. And so to be able to learn that and be a part of something, you know, so big is exciting. But I always say my dream is to one day lead produce a Broadway musical, you know, and to be that lead producer on that show, you know. So if the project speaks to me, it's something that I can take on, that is, I can, you know, contribute my my benefit, my traits to, my benefit, my you know, my skills to, then I want to work on it. And I want something that changes the world, that's exciting, that's new. As Rye Entertainment's sort of motto is it's, you know, exciting, energetic, never before seen or done work in that aspect. So, you know, I have a lot of experience as well in the digital realm, doing a lot of sort of like live streaming and stuff like that. And so, you know, even sort of things of that nature as well. And I'm starting to work with some people on a consulting and coaching basis as well, you know, with them getting sort of their stuff up as well. So I would say the options are endless.
And when can I see the parts I keep inside?
Jeffrey, you go ahead.
You can see the parts I keep inside at the Triad Theater on July 9th and 11th at 7:00 p.m. Doors open, I believe, at 6:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait, especially after last year when we did the show. Just talking to people in the audience, I had that now they know all of these things about me feeling. And I said, you know, I'm never going to do this again.
Wait, didn't you?
But we're doing it again.
Didn't you keep a little of it for yourself?
Almost nothing. I mean, there are some things in there that are fictionalized, but the essence of everything is all truthful. So it's very vulnerable and very scary. I can't believe that we're doing this again, but I'm really excited to do it. And I hope everyone else is too.
Yes, July 9th and 11th. And if you want to get tickets, you can go actually to our website, www.thepartsikepinside.com/tickets, or even just www.thepartsikepinside.com to get your tickets. And the great thing is there's 2 dates. We also, Jeffrey, if you want to show, we have merch as well that we've made that you can support. You know, there'll be on the night of the show, there'll be a little QR code you can scan. If you can't come to the show, you can support by purchasing merch, or we also have a GoFundMe happening, you know, crowdfunding to help support the show and the costs that are involved. And we say as little as $5, you know, if you can't unfortunately make the show. But we're excited, July 9th and 11th. It's about 2-3 weeks away, and the partsikepinside.com to get your tickets, or on the Triads website if you're a frequent visitor of the Triads pages.
You actually did something very smart. That is the very first thing I tell all of my clients. Go get a GoFundMe page, because what producers troll those things. You can get an audience database from that. Super important. Yes, very, very, very smart. congratulations. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank
And
you.
I look forward to this.